Hustle. Get the business, build the business, then you get the cash. Then you flip it, we unscripted, don't forget to laugh. Hustle. Don't forget to laugh. Grind hard, align stars, and as the time pass, hustle. And humor by task, we get the last laugh. Hustle. And humor, now tap in.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Hustle and Humor. We don't take two. Got my man Hyphen-X in the building. You know what time it is. Welcome to Hustle and Humor, where we grind hard but laugh harder. I got a special guest in the building today. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. We're going to run this quick vibe check.
Well, the people know who I am. You know, Tony Turner, a.k.a. Conscious Coaching, part of Urban Intellectuals. You know, we just do some of everything.
No, facts. I need y'all to understand this man is lit. I need y'all to understand this man is lit. Guests be coming to the show. They downplay who they are, what they do, but no, in our community, we got to celebrate those people that's doing dope things. You don't even make it to these tables unless you're doing dope things. Tom, talk about some of the events that you've been doing, man. That Cigars and Sun. Tell them about everything, man.
Okay.
Just tell them about everything, man.
Man, it's a. If you're really looking at it, that's a long trail.
Yeah.
So the biggest wave right now is the Cigar and Sundresses, going on year 6. This year we are promoting 815 Cigar Week, so we're trying to build that up because I want to bring a real cigar week to Rockford. And it ain't just about cigars; it's really about networking,
Right.
Helping build and develop other businesses, especially minority businesses. You know, we just did the Winter Bonfire. We do that at the end of March. You know, that's coming out of the seasons. You know, we have a nice bonfire downtown Rockford. Bring out the couches, you know, the music, the vibes. Just
Right.
give our people something to do, because I believe our people really need exposure to outside of norm.
Right.
So
right.
that we can know that what we think is normal is really not normal.
No, facts. I knew it was lit when this girl asked me. She was like, "Man, you really know Tony?" I was like, "Yeah, what you mean?" She was like, "Yo, you think you can get me a ticket?" I'm like, "Purchase a ticket? What you mean? Like, buy a..." Look, man, black folks, we gotta stop doing this, man. Everything's not a hookup. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's not a hookup. Like, support what's happening around you to keep it happening. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I knew it was lit, though. When somebody came and approached me, like, man, I mean, I'm like, I buy, you buy, we buy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the event, I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to one. The one I went to was so lit. It was so lit. I appreciate it. Like the networking,
Yeah.
the environment, even everything that builds up to it. It's super dope, man. So salute for that.
But you know, and I think like a lot of times, like I like to say I don't have parties. You know what I'm saying? I create experiences, right? And the purpose of that is really to create network environments. That's why, like, if you see my events, I don't do my events in clubs, right? Because I don't want to get the message twisted, right? We all have fun. You know, we're gonna play the same music that you probably hear in the club and some different stuff.
But the environment matters.
The environment, you know what I'm saying, changes and sets the tone.
Right.
And, you know, I want to bring all age groups, all adult age groups, because I want to bring the mature out. I think we try to figure out, like, if I separate things by age group, I'm just going to have mature people. But nah, man, I know some people that's in their 50s. My son got more maturity than them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he just going into the 6th grade. So it's like you gotta set the environment and, you know, create the tone. And then more so, I want to change the stigma of how people see black events too. And that's the biggest part.
Talk about that. That's the biggest part. Because, you know, they say if, you know, you got a bunch of us in the crowd, fighting, shooting, stabbing, something gonna happen, some type of drama where we can't just, people say it all the time, why can't we ever just come together as a people and just do something? But we got examples right here in front of us. We can do it, but like you said, environment
But you
matters.
just said the key word, right? Come together, right?
Right.
So I don't care what it is that we do, that we set up. Like, there are people that come together, but then there are those who, you know, look at what you're doing and then they want to emulate that in their way. And
saying shots fired.
and I'm just, and then, you know, if something goes bad or something that don't go right, it put a bad taste really in the consumer's mouth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And instead, like, you know, if you want to be on board, if you want to be a part, like, reach out. I collaborate with
Facts.
anybody. Let's collaborate. Let's figure out how we can make it work. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just like I was explaining to somebody. It's like you may know, you may come to my house and see what I have for cornbread, whatever. You know,
Right.
I got a bowl. I got, you know, oh, he used Jiffy. He do this and that.
Right.
But you don't know I put honey in it. I don't tell nobody that. It ain't sitting
Right.
on the table, right?
Right.
So you take that and you
You
mix
trying to
it,
reproduce it.
but you missing the honey.
Mm-hmm.
So
If
it
they
ain't
got the
gonna come out the
ingredients,
same.
They ain't got the ingredients. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I've seen that's real. Was it last year? No, maybe it was a few years ago when there was like the 2 Juneteenth events happening at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, in my mind, my thought was, well, why didn't you just connect with Buddy that's been doing Juneteenth events for like
Time to
30
meet.
plus years?
Again, we
Because-
doing that this year. Like, people reached out to me about like, hey, you know, you should do some stuff for Juneteenth. You know, you got the wave, you got the crowd. No, why would I step on his toes?
Right.
Why not? So I
Partner.
reached out to Tommy, and you know, we did some things, helped him put some things together, and I support and be a part of it every year. I ain't
And
like,
that's what I'm saying.
why would I create different?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we had this idea. Like, when it happened, I was like, because they was like, man, could you come speak? So I got down there, and I'm looking at the event, and I had just came from the other Juneteenth event. And I'm looking like, nah, this ain't it. Like, you're not, because if you would have brought the numbers together, it's greater. You know what I'm saying? We stronger together than we are divided. And now, the ultimately, the same message that's being put over here, now you trying to push the same message over here, but you don't got the long-standing longevity they got over here.
We can't do that though.
But it's not the same message. You can't, it's not even the same message. You see what I'm saying? Because how can you teach come together, divided? Do that make sense what I'm saying?
No, it definitely makes sense. But the thing is, and to me, that's not even the consumer's fault, right? So, I feel like, especially us people of color, we go out for 2 different reasons, right? One reason is some people go out to celebrate.
Right.
Celebrate things that have happened, things that they have accomplished, whatever it may be. Some people go out to escape, right?
True.
So
True.
let me go out here, let me give me a little buzz, let me enjoy the night. I ain't got to think about these bills for 24 hours, right?
Facts.
So, but when I'm just saying, so it's like, that's why I say, like, you know, my thing is everything that I do is about celebrating. You got to celebrate, you know what I'm saying, the steps, you know what I'm saying, before you celebrate levels. Because if you look at a building, if there's no elevator, there's stairs, right? So you got to go up so many steps to get to level 2. You got to go up so many steps to
Right.
get to level 3. Celebrate those steps you make on the way,
Right.
right? Don't go out to forget the trouble you got. Because when you
Right.
forgetting the trouble you got, you know what I'm saying, somebody step on that bad corn, now you're going to have a problem.
Right.
So if you go out to celebrate, you know what I'm saying, the milestones, the accomplishments, your energy level and your vibe is different.
Right.
And you're also opening yourself up to connect to the person you may need to connect to make
Facts.
that next step.
Right.
And chances are, if you going out, you know what I'm saying, to forget some stuff, the people you looking for ain't there.
No, that's a fact.
That's the big thing.
That's a fact. Hey, so let me say this right quick.
Go ahead.
One of the things I admire about you, right, is back in 2014, Forbes magazine came out with a list, and it said Rockford was the #3 least educated city in the country.
Okay.
Right? One of the things I admire about you is that you're openly proud of your education, and it's inspiring for our young people to see. Because, like, you make education look cool. You know what I'm saying? Versus what we get in school, a lot of our young people not really attracted to school because they can't really see themselves like being able to use it. But one thing I always admire about you is that you make education look cool. So can you kind of talk about like your educational journey and like any people that's watching this that may feel however they feel, you know what I'm saying? Like they need to see more of us that's making that journey, but not, you know, okay, let me back up just a second too.
Go ahead.
Because I've been on this vibe of like, of telling folks like, listen, the brother that y'all call like the street ninjas, like that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I get the swag and all that stuff that comes with it, but understanding like a lot of us that's been in the streets that done hustle, you understand like, listen, it's a setup. It's a setup that looks cool, but that's not where it's at. But real power comes from like empowering yourself, being able to empower others, being able to have, you know, strategy and move and like and changing people's lives for the better. So that's the angle I'm coming from. It's like, look, people need to see more of us. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's making that look cool.
To be truthful, I can't even take I can't take credit for that.
Okay.
I would have to give that credit to my wife, right? Because, and this is why. So I was in school, you know, had a family, got to working, and then, you know, I wasn't in school, and, you know, I worked what people consider good jobs, you know, place I'll leave nameless because I'm not giving them no pub whatsoever. But
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? I'm making $31, $32 an hour, all the overtime I want. Like, you know, we think typically people in our culture be like, oh, that boy got a good job.
Right.
Key word, that boy got a good job.
Right.
That tells me where your mindset at, right? You got good benefits, you union. Man, I'm up here dumping coffee creamer powder, ain't doing nothing. But, you know, and I'm like, but then the atmospheres you working in, so like jobs like that, out of every, I would easily say for the place, I think had maybe 125 employees, right? 8 of them black. You know what I'm saying? And so you kind of know how that role go, and I'm just like, you know, that began like, it was making me bitter. I was still doing the stuff that I was doing in the community, but working somewhere where your soul ain't at peace, or you can't be in a place where you can grow.
That's heavy.
It does something to you, right? So people on the outside are looking at, oh man, you got it good. You ain't got to worry about this. You got that. No, man, I'd rather my mind, you know, and things like that be at peace, you know. Then if we look at it, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a person that work in the factory, because everybody got their different role, their different route. If it works for you, continue.
Right.
You know, trades, anything, I'll never look down on them. But for me, it was that. And then, you know, we was having a conversation one day, and she was like, well, if you hate it, you need to do something different. Is that a challenge?
Right.
Bet. I'm came home the next week. Hey, you know I'm going back to school in a couple months. So, you know, anyway, I go back to school, and I'm literally like a year and a half, if that, away from finishing my organizational leadership, because what I wanted to do originally was run community centers.
Yes, sir.
And then the ironic part about that, this man has become one of my favorite professors of all out of Rock Valley, you know, and I had this class for African American Studies. And I tell people this story. I go in there and I'm looking for, you know what I'm saying, the teacher ain't in there, teacher comes in, white male, you know what I'm saying, and it was in my mind, like I didn't mean to say it out loud, but it fell out. I said, oh, this some bullshit. You know?
No, I feel you though.
And he was like, yes, Mr. Turner. I'm like, this mug know my name already, know who I am.
Small
he
world.
like it is. That, you know, you come in here and there's a white Irishman that is teaching African American studies.
Yeah.
You know, that he's here to tell, you know, white people and black people that, you know, predominantly everything we see comes from the hands of black people. How life started in Africa, how these different things transpired. And he became one of my favorite professors. You know, because oftentimes, and like, I felt like that was kind of like my my Malcolm moment. You know, remember how Malcolm talked about when he went to Mecca and then he comes back and he meets, you know, white Muslims and all that. So it's like, I'm looking at that and then I'm like, okay, let me see what he really talking about.
Right.
And then he called me, he told me he needed to meet me one day. And I'm like, man, what this dude need to meet with me for? And he challenges me to, he said, hey, you need to go check UIC out and look at their urban education program. I ain't no teacher, man. I'm going to do this. I tell you what, you go check this out, and if it's different and you ain't with it, cool.
Right.
You know, a little wager was made on the side. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this. This easy.
Right.
So I go up there, do my meeting, whatnot, and just from that, it like really changed my perception.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then really getting to look at numbers. I think we, as a community, we don't look at numbers. We look at hashtags and headlines instead of looking at numbers, right?
Absolutely.
So then just seeing like less than 4% of teachers are African American males.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 1% are principals. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you know, and it even gets lower than that when you're looking at African American males being superintendents of schools and school districts.
Man.
So he challenged me like, you know, with what you do and the impact that you have, you're going to find people. Why not put yourself in a position where they're going to find you?
I like that.
And you know what I'm saying? So that's shifted. So ever since then, like, that's what I've been on. He was like, you love history, why aren't you teaching history? And that's where I'm at. And this, you know, it's just been a blessing and, you know, just a benefit all the way around. So like I would tell anybody, and keep in mind that I am a returning student. So basically I'm an adult who came back to school, you know what I'm saying, to get my education, and currently be completing my master's program in the next 4 weeks at UIC, and then it's to the Type 75, and we on to the doctoral
So
status
you're
after that.
You're not gonna get the Cheyenne Bryant.
No. I know you was on that. No. I'm getting the whole role.
You're getting the.
I'm getting the whole role. You know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
like, just going back to set out to accomplish everything that I went for and I wanted. Right. So
Yeah.
that's one thing I would say to African Americans. Like, anything that you set out to accomplish or dreams that you had coming up, growing up, my question is, what made you stop dreaming?
Now we talking.
That's what you gotta look at.
I can answer that question.
Now we talking.
What causes reality causes a lot of people to stop dreaming.
What is reality?
You get caught up. Hold on. You get caught up in your day to day, so you start to not be able to see 30 days out, 4 days out, 5 days out. You know what I'm saying? You lose that. You get caught in what's the word? Pattern.
Right.
You know,
The monotony of
the monotony. That's what
day-to-day.
I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Monotony of the day to day. So
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And I get that, though.
We have to.
I see both sides of
But
this.
see, I get that. I see that side, and I was a part of that side,
Yeah.
right? But here's the thing. Like, you got the sign on the board over there that says failure, success, execute, right? You stop dreaming, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Facts.
I agree. 125%.
Right? I just talked about earlier, take those little steps, right? So what I did was, I started off, when I first went back to school, I took a class a semester.
Easy too.
We make excuses for not going to do what we set out to do.
Nah,
right?
true story.
So you take the small step, and then I'm like, oh, I handled that one class, I can get 2 now. Let me get that. Now, you know what? It's business, right? So like, I'm closer. My better days, I feel like oftentimes, my better days or my more youthful days are behind me, right?
Yeah.
So and I ain't finna say old, because that ain't it. So my youthful days are behind me, but my better intentional days
your
are in
impact
front of me,
days.
right?
Yeah.
So once you make up in your mind to be intentional about what you're going to do, you'll find ways to do it. And the only thing that's in front of you is the fear of, because, you know, a lot across different religions, we always talk about faith, right? And that's things it's things you ain't done, but I'm a firm believer in, once you start doing those things, you need less faith to believe in yourself that you can do it, because you see it unfolding and happen in front of you.
Wait, say that again.
So like the scripture says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You gotta look at the small words, not seen, right? So when I start to see things, I become more confident. Faith,
So you start to replace your faith with confidence.
shifts into confidence.
Okay, that preaches.
So now I know that I can do this.
Right.
So I'm finna do it. Right? Like even things like around the city, like I've done things around the city, and I shouldn't say but because it's been the help of other people.
You've been a part of.
But
Right.
The ideas, right? I've been in rooms where people say, "No, that can't happen. You can't do that." Okay, you telling me in this room that I can't do that, but so I ask you, why can't I do it, and you don't have an answer for me. When the person can't give you an answer of why you can't do something, now you go look at the rules of the game, right? So when you figure out the rules, then you come back and say, okay, you told me I couldn't do this because of X, Y, and Z, but A, B, and C says this, this, and that. And then they're going to give it to you, but they're gonna give it to you with, it ain't gonna be like a happy, here you go. It's gonna be like, okay, you think you smarter
Right.
than everybody else, and then you do that, and then you come back the next time, and the goalpost been moved again. Okay, cool, I'm cool with that. So, okay, chapter 1 said I do this and that. So now I'm looking at chapter 2. This is what I gotta do, and I'm coming right back at you. I'm gonna make you keep moving the goalpost till you quit moving.
Right.
Right? I don't think no is an answer. No just means not now.
Facts.
You know, that's
Facts.
it. For anybody, no means not now.
Facts. Man, you know, yesterday we had a entrepreneur workshop yesterday, and I told this story that connects to what you're saying. So basically, in my own personal philosophy, to put this on nobody else, but the word faith is an action word, right?
Correct.
Faith is not I believe. Faith is I do, right? It's what you do based on that belief. So I had 2 things happen in my life that changed my life forever. One, when A. Donahue Baker invited me to Atlanta to meet David Shands, he was like, yo, meet me in Atlanta like next week on this date and wear all white. One, all I had was a few dollars on Link. I had no money in the account, and I had no way to get to Atlanta, right? So I'm like, I gotta get a plane ticket, buy an outfit, get to Atlanta, feed myself, get a hotel. All these negatives came up. My response to him was, yes, sir. I had no clue how it was gonna happen. But if I wouldn't have made that leap and just went off on faith that, because the faith was right now I don't have it. But if it's meant for me, if I start taking action right now, the universe or God or Allah or the infinite power, whatever you say, is gonna provide a way for me to get there. So I started working out, and what do you know? I ended up in Atlanta. I landed at midnight. I was walking through College Park with the D-boys out, prostitutes out, police everywhere. I got to my hotel. They was like, we sold your room. It's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get a hotel room in College Park to get to where, but I moved out on faith. And the whole thing is, when I landed, as I'm walking on foot from the airport through College Park, I was happy as a kite. I was like, yo, this is lit. Like, I don't care. I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll figure it out. Then the second thing, from going to Atlanta to that actual meeting, I met Marquel Russell, because I didn't know. I thought we was going out to lunch with David Shands. It was a whole social proof alumni dinner. So I get there, I meet Marquel Russell. After I met with him and his team and everything, we on the phone talking. I wanted to get his program to learn marketing. They was like, yo, it's $15,000. I'm on the phone. Look, the whole hour we done went through this call, I'm feeling everything, 100%. They got me saying stuff like, it gotta be meant. God sent it to me. Right? so God sent it to me until they get to the price, $15,000. I'm like, 15. First of all, I came to Atlanta with a link card. You know what I'm saying? Like 15,000. And when he said,
You was making sandwiches in the hotel room.
bro, I'm talking about,
Trying to
look, I
figure
would
out.
be lucky to have a sandwich.
Your
I was
stomach
like,
was loud in front of
listen,
everybody.
I just figured, I was like, they gonna have food when I get there. I was like, they gonna have food when I get there. I gotta move out. But I did. And then when I was on the phone, it took me like 10 seconds. I felt my heart drop in my chest. Cause I'm like, everything I want is on the other side of this phone call in life. But I ain't got the means to get it. So when he said, you wanna do it? I was like, yes, sir. I had to figure it out. And then I said it knowing I didn't have the money. But like within the next few days or whatever, like a contract came through or whatever, and it was like, hey, like 20,000, 25,000, something like that. And I was like, look at God. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at God. And that's, for me, I've always leaned on that for faith. Like sometimes you gotta jump out there and just, other people that can't see it, it ain't meant for them to see.
I believe blessings and things that are for you, it's like you got to be willing to be hit by the train. So what I'm saying is you have to put yourself in the way to be hit. Like, I ain't waiting for nothing. I'm gonna put myself in the way so I get it.
Yeah.
Right? Put yourself in the way. Just like, you think about it, like if I'm out here in the streets, right? And I'm hanging out at certain places, I'm doing certain things, even though I ain't got to be a part of it, right? And this is something that I talk to young people about. Like, here's the thing, like, you can be in the atmosphere and not be a part of what's going on, but because you put yourself in the way, you can get hit.
Yeah.
So if it works that way there, why doesn't it work that way on the other side of life?
Right.
Put yourself in the way to be hit.
Yep.
So when if you're in the way of good things coming, something good gonna hit you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how you gotta be.
Yeah. No, that's what happened, man. That's that's what happened to me in that journey. And I was like, listen, it just so many times now that like now, and here's the thing I want people to realize too is it doesn't guarantee. It's not a guarantee. Like for me, I could have said, here's what I realized. If I say, yes, sir, I can make it, and then it turns around and I ain't got a plane ticket, I ain't got the money to get there, I'm no worse off than when I started. But at least if I say yes, the reticular activating system of my brain is now looking for what's a solution to solve this problem. But you can't solve a problem if you're not looking for the solution. You got to already be looking for the solution. And so when I realized, like, you know what? You can be like Neo in the Matrix if you tell yourself, but if you doubt it from the beginning, you miss that blessing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, you have to take the leap of faith and be like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Knowing how to do it is not your responsibility at that moment. You got to take the leap of faith first and then figure it out as you go.
But then also with that, like we talk about, like I just said, putting ourselves in the way. You got to also surround yourself with people who enjoy putting themselves in the way.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
Because it's a ricochet effect, right? Mm-hmm. So once I begin to look at like, okay, I see, as we say, motion. However, you know, when I see people that are transcending in areas that I want to transcend in.
Absolutely.
If I have a connection with them, you know what I'm saying? I need to be figuring out how I can be involved, right? And then that way, so the more you put yourself in the way, the more you put yourself around people that are in the way, the higher and greater your chances are of doing that. And, you know, I share like, you know, even with my education route, I thought about going to school here, like, oh, I could just go get this degree at Rockford University, whatever it may be, right? But the impact I don't want to have, that I want to have, I wouldn't have that being at RU. Not saying that RU is not a good school, but I'm not going to have that, right? So then when I went to UIC and I'm, you know, going to classes and I'm doing my student teaching in these schools that are in worse conditions than RPS, right?
Right.
I'm learning, right? And then I'm sitting at the table with people who've done the work. I'm like, you know, in my phone right now, I'm like, man, I got contacts in my phone with people that's been on TED Talk, people that has talked at several universities, written multiple books. And the crazy part is I got them at the palm of my hand where I can say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. This is what I'm looking at. How does this work?
Yeah.
Oh, go see this, go talk to this, go read this, go look at this. And they give me great advice. You know what I'm saying? And it's like those things like that, like, again, like you have to be willing to put yourself in those spaces, you know? So people ask me, oh, so you drove up there to go to school, you drove to do this, you drove to do that. It's worth it.
It's worth it. Absolutely.
It's worth it. Like literally like in the education game, I firmly believe being up there, I'm 10, 15 years ahead of where Rockford is and the things that are going on in Rockford in education.
Yeah.
Because of the socio-economic dynamic of education.
No, that's dope. Now, DC could bear me witness. I just taught some of that same stuff in our workshop yesterday, like same principles. Like, you know, I told the people, the five closest people, you are the sum total of the five closest people around you. And whatever the five closest people around you are into, you into. If they lazy, you lazy. They gossip, you gossip. They like to get up late, you like to get up late. Because you can either control your environment's going to control you. But if you're the best person in your circle, then you need a new circle.
You failing.
Right? You fail. Like, yeah.
You failing.
They can't lift you up. The people, if you're the best in that circle, they can't lift you up. You got to be in some circles where you at the bottom, and that synergy, that ricochet you talked about, it can lift you. The opportunities that you might not get, they can provide you. Like, you got to be in some circles where you're not the best person. You can't be the richest in all your circles.
Well,
you can't be the smartest. You can't be the healthiest. You can't be the most spiritual. You got to be in some circles with people that's better than you. And I don't mean better like, you know, in an arrogant type of way, but just they're positioned in life where you want to be positioned.
So
you know?
that's the thing. I like, and I get where you're going, and like, so how I address that is, I don't look at people as better, right? Now, I do look at people as this person is more accomplished than me, or more polished, right? So that don't make you better because
Right.
you're more polished. You just been in the right spaces.
Absolutely.
So what I need to do is figure out how you became more polished. What were the things you did and apply that to myself? My partner, 815 Mag, Bo Cheney, like we had a saying, like you just talked about the 5 people. So here's the thing we say, you need 5 people that you are connected to. And the way it is like this. You need 2 people at least 2 people that are in levels higher than you, that you aspire to be. You need 1 person on the same path as you so you can challenge each other. You know what I'm saying? You need 2 people a little bit lower than you so you can help pull them up. So you're moving at a constant rate.
Right.
And then it takes, for every person, it takes like I'm really finna give y'all some sauce to really look at that
Okay.
stuff in life. So look at it as a spider web.
Okay.
Now, when I hear, like, I know people watching and people gonna copy this, but if I come and you speaking to some people and I hear you say this and you see me, point me out.
He said, "Give my
Because I
credit."
don't want to have to get you.
Give my
Because I
credit.
will.
Hey, y'all
Those
mark
days,
mark this time. Get
those
this man
those
his credit,
days,
all
those
right?
days are free. Those days, those free steals, that's over with. But and it ain't got to be money, but free steals is over with.
Yeah, no,
so,
facts.
But you got to look at it like a spider web, right? So if you look at a spider web at the very beginning, that spider web is real small, right?
Right.
So you need 3 people in your life. You know what I'm saying? When you growing up, you typically got a mother, a father, a grandparent, but you got 3 people, uncle, whoever be, that look
Right.
out for you, right? Those 3 people need to be able to connect you with 3 people. So now my web goes from 3
To
to 9,
Okay.
from 9 to 27,
Okay.
and
Keep
so forth. You keep
Right.
building. That's how you build a community. So the person that you're connected with, if that person above you can't connect you to 3 people, leave them alone. If they're not willing to connect you to the 3 people to help them, leave them alone.
No, facts.
Because
Facts.
they're setting a ceiling for you that you can't go beyond.
I like that.
But
I like
they're
that.
growing off of whatever you have.
I like that. Nah, definitely.
You
That's
know
a
what I'm
true
saying?
story. That's whatchamacallit use that motto, like MLMs. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Go get your 3, go get 3, right? And that's how you MLMs. Even though I hate MLMs, but still that principle is there, right?
Yeah,
get your 3.
they just flipped
your 3,
it.
go get your 3.
But what
right?
they did was they just flipped it to make the cap.
Right.
They came in the game getting 3, knowing who their 3 is, learning who their 3 is. Okay, this works. So we flip this, and now we just keep telling people get their 3.
Get their 3.
And not only give them enough to get to a certain level.
Right.
And the sad part is that's what's going on in the city.
Talk on that.
That's what's going
Talk
on in
on
the
that.
city. And you know, just to add it out there, and like, I really want to break those trends. So if that's what you do to get what you get, I'm gonna bust it in a minute once people pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, and ain't no, you know, ain't name dropping, ain't pointing nothing out, but I'm gonna bust it in a minute.
Yeah.
And if you watch me, you know exactly what I'm
So
saying.
many warning shots.
No, it ain't a warning shot.
No,
He said
you
it's
let
a
them know
promise.
before it come. I know.
Yeah.
I ain't even giving the warning shot. I'm loading. It's gonna be point blank range right here.
He said he's walking them down.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk down.
You know, so and just to speak on that, so like as we're building Cigar Week, so like on June 27th, anybody that has a not a food business, right? But you have a merchandising business. If you have a merchandising business on June 27th, you can link up with me and you have a free spot to sell whatever you have. I ain't charging you to vend because I need to see you build.
Yeah,
Right.
That's rare.
This ain't about me. Like I know. Let me stop. I can't say this ain't about me or what I'm trying to do, but I know what I'm trying to do. But I ain't trying to do it at their expense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I need to open it. I believe like this in the universe. If I create a door for you, the universe owe me, and I tell the universe every day, you owe me. I did this for so and so. You owe me. I ain't talking to that person. I'm talking to the universe.
Right.
Because I need what I'm doing reciprocated. So if I'm opening the door for a person, the universe, I believe, I tell the universe, you owe me a door.
So Tony, I got a couple questions.
Go ahead.
So, first of all, more comments than questions. So what I'm hearing you say is that people need to be exposed to more, to have access to whatever better education, water, whatever it may be, that have access to that so that they're able to influence others.
Yeah, I've always said that. See, my truth is, and again I say my truth. My truth is access creates equity.
I like that.
If you have access to things, anything that's not equal to you right now, once you begin to get that access, you're going to create that equity. Things are going to shift. Things are going to change. The only thing is different. Like a lot of people don't know. Okay, and I'm in education, so people don't even see the shift in dynamic that college is going back to private. College is going back to private. College started off as private. It was only designed for, just flat out be blunt, I don't care what nobody say, we can match history and documentation for documentation, right?
You want to write that?
So college was designed for white males to teach and train them how to maintain certain areas in the community, right? So that was they were either getting involved into religious practices, political practices, or socio-economic practices. That's what college was designed for. A lot of people don't even know that a lot of colleges were actually slave holding stations, right?
Yes, sir.
And those dorms, like you go back and look at history, William and Mary, Yale, Harvard, Clemson, them dorms was built by slaves.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you built the institution, you taught somebody how to control you in that institution, but it wasn't until like I believe World War II where college really opened because of the World War II and the Cold War and all those things like that. It became an issue of making sure we had more intelligence than the next country. So then they opened the doors, right? So now you got this influx that beginning to allow more African Americans in colleges, predominantly white universities. So then we start shifting from our HBCUs more so to go to the PWI. And, you know, so transpired years over. But now when you get that education, a lot that's attached to education is the access to better income because of what you have.
Right.
Now, so now we're in the phase of college tuition is even higher.
Right.
Right? Now, don't let them trick you and say there ain't no federal funding. The federal funding is still there, but it's still it's a less amount. It's the same amount, but because college costs more, that percentage that it covers is less.
Right.
So when you have low income people, predominantly black and brown, more so black people, like you can't afford to go to school there. So even if you do go to school, you taking a predatory loan, and some degrees are not even offered under certain scholarships and different things. You can't get them. So like you got to know what you're getting into in the first. So this past year, I think it's over 50 public universities have been closed, and then expecting another 60 to close. So it's like to go back, if you make college private again, or limited to where it's predominantly private institution, and there's high cost to get in there, how many of low-income people get in there? How many African Americans get in there? So that's why I'm a firm believer that, especially black people, like I get it. We see our kid graduate from high school, but figure out what you can do so your kid can graduate high school with an associate's, and they ain't even got to be paid by you because they can get that through the state as long as they're a high school student.
Yep.
They can get that associate's through the state.
Yeah, my daughter's doing that right now.
So now you done cut off 2 years of college costs. You done close the economic gap by 2 years. Your kid go to school, they gonna get what they need in 2 years, if not less. So it's like we gotta understand what we doing. It like I just firmly feel like, and I ain't trying to jump, but we celebrate the wrong things.
No, that's a true story.
Right?
It's a true story.
Say celebrate those who go off and do what they need to do. Challenge those who come back to do better.
Right.
Like when our people come home from being in jail, whether it was something they did or didn't do, we celebrate them instead of challenging them to do better.
Yeah, that's a fact. We definitely celebrate the ones who coming back like they accomplished something. Like jail is an accomplishment, but graduating with a degree, he lame. Oh man, that's one of them schoolboys over there. Them niggas, man. Hey, you know how we come. We don't celebrate But I think so. So let me get your take on this, because I mentioned this earlier today. I had a conversation. In our community, it's very hard for us to value education because real education is supposed to bring your greatness up, right? But a lot of what we think is education, or what we've been taught is education, we don't see immediate or direct benefits from. So a lot of our young people drop out of school or whatever. So now we got this generation of children that can't read, really don't understand science, cause and effect, math they're lacking, because math builds critical thinking skills, right? Because our parents before us, when they was in school, they didn't get no real value out of the education that they got. So before we even get to like higher education, we talking like I've had parents come to the school and ask me this question: can you do math with my son in the morning first? Because I can't understand them difficult fractions and whatnot. And I'm thinking in my mind, with fractions, you learn in like 4th grade, right? So if your math journey stopped at fractions, like how do you spend money? How do you budget? How do you understand assets and liabilities? How do you understand some of these simple things in life? If you can't get past, if that roadblock is there for you and that's your ceiling, then you can't even lift your child past that ceiling. So you want me to teach your child fractions because you never took that opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
So I get that. So and definitely. So like here's where I am with that. So first of all, we gotta call a spade and understand what it is. The kids we have now are the grandchildren of the crack epidemic.
Absolutely.
So a lot of them never even graduated.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So you had a kid who was the child of a crack. I hate saying crack baby because it's not. You have a kid who's the child of a government epidemic.
Right.
That was
Destabilized.
used to destroy and decompose our communities.
Absolutely.
Right? And they were raised by a grandparent who probably didn't have the luxury of even graduating, right?
Right.
Because you think of it, that their great grandparents, which would have been the blue collar workers who came up north and started working in factories, and that factory they had a good living, so they wanted to be safe and sorry, make enough money, take care of my family. Cool, it is what it is. Now their children are children of this drug habit, whatever it may be, and now you're dealing with a kid. On top of that, you know, these last few years, these were kids that when they first went to school, they went to school in the pandemic. If we're talking 3rd, 4th grade.
Yeah.
So their classroom setting was on the laptop.
Right.
If they went.
Yeah.
Or no, if they cut it on.
Yeah.
If they cut it on. Because, you know,
if they had left it on, yeah.
Because, like, the crazy part is, like, you know, during that, I did a lot of student teaching during that time. And I'm student teaching from a laptop. And you'd be surprised. You probably wouldn't be surprised. The crazy, just the thing, some of the things I've seen, like, I would have kids on the laptop. And the mama walking around in the background, you know what I'm saying? They ain't near free.
We're gonna say comfortable.
Like, yo. Then they cutting the computer on, they got their robe on, you know, whatever, however it may be. So you got to cut the kid computer off, screen off. You know, it's just all these little things. But getting back to that, here's the truth. I don't know if we're really concerned about our children's education.
Right.
We're not concerned about it because the generation that you're speaking of, they have a bad relationship with education. So therefore, their kids have a bad relationship with education.
Do they have a bad relationship with education, or is that what they choose? Because here's where I'm at.
Well, what I'm saying, when I say their relationship is their relationship, however it may be. When I say a bad relationship, I'm talking about something in them in school didn't click. It didn't click for them.
Well, I'm going to say this: parents are liars.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So here we go.
Most
right.
definitely.
So I remember I said this years ago. I had a kid that I was mentoring, and the mom came to me and was like, he ain't doing X, Y, and Z. He need to do A, B, and C. I told him do whatever, and do this and do that. My first question was, how far did you go in school?
Damn.
She said, "What?
What's got with me?"
She said, I got my education. He need to get his. I said, cool. How far did you go in school?
Yeah.
Right? So come to find out, you barely graduated high school. And that's not a knock on you. But where we make the mistake is, if I barely graduated high school, I can't talk to my kid about college if I ain't go. Go get somebody that had that experience that can talk to them about that.
You in what aspect are you saying that they can't say nothing to them about college?
Listen, like, you can't tell your kid, because it's like, person that work at McDonald's, are you going to allow them to tell you how to fix your car? I'm just a yes or a no.
No.
Why?
Because they don't have the experience.
How? No.
Because I see them working at McDonald's.
So that's all you see. So regardless of the experience that you have, you may work on cars in your garage. Unless I really know you,
So
it don't level up. So what I'm saying is this, because children grow, when children are growing up, they believe what they see. Like, my parents and my grandparents told me a lot of things, but I didn't believe it because I didn't see it. But then when I was in that predicament, oh, this is what they talking about. So it fell on deaf ears at the moment, but it registered later. But put them with somebody where they can see the fruits of their labor.
Expose them.
Exposure, right? So now it has a different weight.
In addition, because I guess what I'm trying to say is that I agree with you that I can only tell you what I know. But I do know that by me not going to college, that I know that you should go to college.
So tell them about your mistakes. Don't tell them what they need to do.
Right, but then
you hear what I said? Tell them about your mistakes, not what they need to do.
I heard exactly what you said. But as a parent, isn't your job to help point that child into the right direction? Now, I may not be able to show you how to go to college, but I can mention it, and in addition to exposing them to someone else.
That's the same thing I just said,
Yes,
right?
exactly
But
what
I
you
can't tell you to do that when I ain't did it. I can say, I wish I would have went to college, my life would have been better. I wish I would have went to the service, my life would have been better.
So
here's somebody who do that. Like,
so you can't tell them out of experience.
Yeah,
you can tell them,
tell them
out of experience.
You know,
basically.
but and if you're going to tell them out of experience, tell them your failures. Tell them your shortcomings. As parents, we typically don't want to tell our kids our shortcomings. I'm cool with telling my son my shortcomings. Hey, cuz, this is what I did. This is what I did, cuz. And this is how I talk to him. I don't talk, when we talking about, like, I talk to him like a person. I don't talk to him from a father figure. Like, I'm your dad. I'm supposed to make sure certain things lay out for you and do what I can. But I need you to be open and willing to talk to me. Like, people look at me, man. Me and my daughter, right? My daughter called me Leroy. That's just our little connection piece. She called me Leroy. She called her mama LeBron. I mean, she called her mama Linda. She called her mama Linda.
Okay.
Called my little brother LeBron because she said, you know, when stuff ain't going his way, he always whining. So,
Wow.
but it's cool. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
We got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when it's serious, it's dad. You know, when things going on. But we have an open communication.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To where we can have this dialogue, and a lot of times we're trying to maintain or hold this image that we want to hold in our kids' eye. But at some point, when your kid hits a certain age and you've been telling them to do X, Y, and Z, and they can recognize that you ain't did none of that and you still ain't doing that, like, you're losing ground with them. I wanted my daughter to go to school and do everything she could. So one of the things was, like, I got to be the example in front of her. So guess what? I'm going back to school before you go back to school. I'm finna get mine.
You kind of jump at challenges. I see that a lot with you. Where would you think you would be if your wife would have never challenged you to do something different?
Man, I probably would have crashed out at the job on somebody.
wild out.
But that's it though. But but just that simple thing, you know what I'm saying? Open my eyes. And again, being around other people, it wasn't just her challenging me, you know what I'm saying? Again, I mentioned, Bo Chaney, like think about it, like even growing up and being in the streets and doing certain things, like my older cousins was like, come on, cuz, like you might be the smartest one out of all of us. All this stuff come easy to you. Why you doing this and that? Like even when I first moved to Rockford, I'm going back home. It's hot down here. This going on. You don't need to be down here because the way you move, you gonna move right, wrong, or indifferent with the family, and we don't need you in the position that we're in. Right? My grandmother, came to me like, you got the opportunity to be my first grandson to graduate high school because we know what it is and we know what everybody do. Yeah, I straddle the fence. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna do this in the afternoon. I'm gonna play both sides of the fence. But you got to make choices, and you got to have those people around you that are going to challenge you to do better.
So let me ask you this, because I've been knowing Tony for a while now, and you have never been one who lacks confidence at all. But I hear a different tone in your voice today. I hear a different C word. I hear certainty. Can you speak on that? Where you have come from confidence to certainty?
Well, confidence creates certainty. Again, going from faith to confidence to certainty, right? So you start doing the work, you more confident, right? And now you're certain that I can do this because I've already done these things. And the crazy part was what made school so much easier for me. I'm in class with I was in class with a lot of adult learners and younger people, right? But the crazy part was I knew more than the adult learners who were there because of experiences and things that I've done, trial and error within the community, mentoring and, working in group homes and different things like that. So it's like what education was and what I tell young people and anybody. Here's the difference between education and there's a difference between a person who has an education and a person that is an intellect. Because if we being truthful, all of the books that I had to get in school, I could have bought those books and been a whole lot less money and read them and took notes and knew how to apply it.
Right.
But the paper puts you in different doors. And then when you get to the other side, you see there's people that got this paper just dumb as I don't know what. Like, how'd you do it?
Because the two ain't necessarily mutually exclusive.
Exactly. And a lot of times people have degrees and people are in work fields that they're not even good at. You just chose that work field because it was an access for whatever it may be. So it's just again, what you do, if you have a passion for it, if it's what you believe, if it's what you see yourself doing, if it's what you really want to practice, that level of learning, it becomes easy. Education is easy. The question is, are you being educated in what it is you want to do?
That's the difference maker. Because I'll be honest, I'm way older now, right? And I'm just now finding stuff that man, I could have went to school for this, right?
Yeah.
It's because of now the way it's presented. And that's the other side of education is why it's so important for us that's why I started the episode off. I talked about making education cool, right? It's very important for us to have those models in front of us because if somebody would, right now, I'm really into physics, right? But when I took physics in high school, I failed. In the first 2 weeks, I was done with physics. I was like, no, this because
you ain't see yourself, but you don't see yourself in it.
That's my point. It's almost like they say, if you take a picture in a group of people and you see the picture, the first thing you do is go look for yourself in that picture. You want to see how did you look, make sure you were straight, your hair, you know what I'm saying? You want to check for yourself in that picture. If you don't see yourself in the picture of math, you don't see yourself in the picture of history, you don't see yourself in the picture of English, when you don't see yourself in the picture, you check out. And so for me, right now, I always talk about physics. I'm like, oh, this is dope. I could have went to school for this years ago, right? But the way it was presented to me when I was in high school, I was like, this is whack. I don't want to learn this. I remember saying stuff like, when would I ever use this in life, right? This don't, because it was no relevance. But once you have a model in front of you that you can actually see, damn, this could be kind of cool. That changes our perspective on education too. You know what I'm saying?
The crazy part is everything that I've learned in education, I've already seen it in life in real time. When you can correlate the two to your own experiences, like I always tip my hat off to the brothers MC, Juice Owens, right? Jerry Owens, right? Because I learned a lot of organizational leadership skills being a part of the brothers, right? And just, having conversations, with him and other people that, been in the motorcycle world forever, like, showing me how to spot out different things that may be correct, may be incorrect, and how to fine tune those things. So then you take that and then you apply what you learn in the streets and this and that, and then just mentoring and relationship and networking with older adults, young adults. Like I say, like, in the early 90s, the thing was like one of the little young homies, whatever, you send them to the store, you get this and that, they get to keep the change, they get to build off. So it's like you're learning these things, but those things correlate to real world experience, right? If I want somebody to work harder for me, how do I put them in position to achieve, right? So if a person sees that they're growing and building from me, they're going to keep working. Right? So all of these things apply across the board. We learn these things, whether it's in church, home, school, basketball court, whatever it may be. We learn these skill sets, but until we begin to correlate them with education, just like, black parents are great advocates. In sports.
And sports is a fact.
Right? So here's the thing. If I take that, like, no different, okay? My kid plays on the team. My kid is a good kid. He's great on the court, but he ain't playing that much. Parent ain't got no problem walking down them bleachers saying, hey, why my kid ain't playing as much as this kid?
Story.
And my son got a better P per 48 than your kid. You know what I'm saying? My kid is more valuable on the floor than this kid. Like, we can argue that, right? But we can't show up to a parent-teacher conference and argue that. We can't show up to a school board meeting and argue that.
Right.
We can't show up to an election office and argue that. But it's the same thing.
But do you think it's the same thing with parents? It's like, how we talk to some of our young people and we'd be like, our young people want to be what they can see. So our young people can see the NBA. You can see LeBron James. You can see Steph Curry. You can see SGA, right? You can see it. So you want to be that. But for parents, if you think about I don't know how many conversations do I have with parents like this, but if you ask them, like, what's your child going to be, the parents are give you almost the same delusional answer that you expect from the child. Like, oh no, my child going to the league. But it's like, wait a second. Your child 5'6", you know what I'm saying? Your child not even the best at the Y. And on the flip side of that, you talking about your child going to the league, but what else do you have prepared for your child? And a lot of times parents see the same thing the children see it. So they see the NBA, they see the NFL, they see the rappers. Because I had a brother tell me, real story, brother told me either he's going to the NFL or he's going to get a job at Chrysler. I was like, gee, do you know how much of a gap is in between Chrysler and the NFL? Like, there's everything else in the world in between. Either you got to work at this factory or go to the NFL. But those are the two options he's seeing. Because in Rockford at that time, Chrysler was the big thing. And then you had I think you might have had one brother go to the NFL, one brother go to the NBA, right? But that's what we seen. But the parents become big advocates in sport because that's what they see. Like, my child gonna be the one to take us there. My child gonna buy me a house. My child gonna get me a car. Even though every place else, currency flows down, right? The current, it flows downward, not upward. We're the only backwards community where we talking about having currency flow upward. But what's your opinion on that? Like, does it have something to do with what the parents actually see? It
has to do what the parents are exposing their kids to. That's just the word. Completely exposure, right?
Yeah.
So, again, if I'm not, my biggest thing, not even for me, was like, I really started developing my circle for my children. And just so happened, developing my circle for my children developed the circle for me.
Right.
Because I was also in spaces where, like, I'm seeing people and hearing people, and I'm watching people do different things, and I'm like, what's so different about them to me? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Are you trying to live through your kid, or are you trying to live for your kid?
That's a heavy question.
Mic
That's a heavy
I'm
question.
just saying, that's what we gotta ask.
Same.
Are you trying to live through your kid, or you trying to live for your kid? Right. The hardest reality for me was my daughter. She's tall for a girl. She's actually very athletic, but she don't care about sports. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was playing 4th grade, 5th grade basketball, and like I would get these spurts and glimpses, like, oh yeah, she there,
Yeah,
she
gonna-
there, she
gonna be a killer when
rebound,
she get older.
she can play great defense. We just got to get a couple more moves down, and it's gonna be a bucket. And I'm talking crazy to everybody. And when reality hits, she don't really care about basketball.
Nah,
She
true
playing
story.
with her friends. Like, we was at one game, and like my daughter, like, just this is crazy, right? And I love her to death for this, right? When I say when she's into something, like, she has my drive about being competitive. But it was one time she was playing, and she was at Eisenhower, and she was playing against Lincoln, and she was guarding their best player. She wasn't letting their best player get the ball, wasn't doing none of that. And she was in her bag at that moment. I'm like seeing these glimpses. I'm like, it's a problem. She's about to be a problem. So the girl had got to arguing with her, and she's arguing back and forth, and they got a steal. And they're on offense now, but my daughter's still down here guarding this girl. Like, what are you doing? Get back here. But that was a moment it was embarrassing for her. Because she wasn't, I didn't even recognize, like, she wasn't even into basketball like that for that. She was in it because of her friends, and the competitiveness of her led her to that drive, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, we want our kids to do things that we didn't do. Like, I wanted my kids at that moment to take sports serious because I didn't. Because I felt like, you know what I'm saying, there was so many doors that I probably could have opened that I didn't open because I was back and forth between whether I really want to be for real in sports or if I want to be in the streets and do everything else. But reality is, sports was never for me like that. Because if it was, that's where I'd be. Right? So we're not looking at what we're doing, right? And a lot of times our journey is to help somebody else. So you look at all of these people who they say, oh, they had NBA talent, they had NFL talent, whatever, Major League Baseball talent, whatever. You had that talent, you wasted it. So now your job is to teach other people how you wasted that, so they don't do it.
Right. Yeah. Because there's a lesson in that.
Right.
There's
And
a
then I
lesson in
believe
that.
the God of the universe wanted you to waste that talent so that you can be a blessing to somebody else.
No, facts.
So it's just like one of them things, like, you have to learn from turn your mistakes, your failures, whatever you want to call them, into victory and triumph, right? Because the lesson for me to learn was, the lesson that I had to learn from that was, don't force your kids to do some sports or whatever.
Right.
And ever since then, I've never had. My son don't care about sports, right? My son is into electronics, gaming, very artsy. So guess what? That's what I push.
Yeah.
Because I need him to be the best him he can be. I don't need him to be a broken image or a broken figure of a man that I wanted him to be.
Right.
So then when he have children, he messing them up. Nah.
Yeah.
No.
You know, when my daughter, it's crazy. When my daughter was young, I got some of the, but not even young, before she was born, I got some great advice. The advice that was given to me was like, listen, they said, let your daughter, because I only got my daughter, right? I got my daughter. And my other daughter I adopted later in life. But they said, let your daughter explore everything, right? She'll find her way. I wanted her to play sports now. Me and her mom both put her in like basketball, because her mom was All-American D1. She had a chance to go to the league, enter the draft and all that. She didn't want to do it because at that time WNBA wasn't paying, well, it was paying less than it's paying today. We'll say it like that, right? And we had put her in basketball and stuff like that. But we found early on in life, she loved education. Like the day we brought her home from the hospital, put it in front of the TV as a newborn, turn on so your baby can read, right? So it's like, and we found, you go look at the old Facebook video, she doing high-level math. She had the board at 2 years old, like 2,471,685,000 plus, and she going, because she had a love for education, right? And then we let her do things, like we let her splash in the sink, you know, playing with dishes. Because if I push her against playing with the dishes now, when I want her to wash dishes when she get older, she'll be like, no, I don't want to do that. But if I let her have fun doing it, she'll associate fun when she gets older. So we let her explore, and then, you know, I'm thinking, well, me and her mother both play basketball. She'll be a hooper, you know. My daughter do gymnastics, right? That was her passion that she found what she was good at. Me nor her mother understood nothing about that world, but that's where she found her lane at, you know what I'm saying? But she only got there because we allowed her to explore all the different things and find what's right for her. And, you know, we won it, we seen it, like, oh man, you got the DNA, you got the right DNA. You could be a killer out here. You know, we put her in the little league, you know, for the children when she was like maybe 2nd or 3rd grade. She out there getting buckets. I'm like, when she get older, it's gonna be one.
That's like,
but that's not what she liked though. She's like, no.
But you saying it like you hitting it on, like, here's the thing, you hitting on the head as far as teaching, and
Yeah.
you know, I'll always tip my hat to LC and the Mir Watts, right? They're at Jefferson, they coaching, right? Now Jefferson has came a long way, but Jefferson is not like at the top, but their kids are winning in life. I'm not saying that ain't no other coaches doing that or whatever, but what I see with them, right? They're 2 black males who've had great experience and great things in college and are some of Rockford's best hoopers, right?
Yeah.
But they are making sure that they are imparting into the lives of the kids that they have, right? So your best friend as a parent, a lot of times, is the teacher and the coaches. But the question for the parents is, are you making sure your kids are with the right teachers and coaches?
Right. No, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's the deal.
That's a
with that.
fact. Yeah. No, that's a good question. So, man, here's where I'm at. I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of stuff. We're gonna have to do a part 2 because it's refreshing. Because you know,
let me say this. I know we're running time.
Yeah.
But again, not about cigars and sundresses, but on June 27th, that day, if you are an entrepreneur, you have your own business that you want to help get off the ground, or if you are a community service organization.
Yes, sir.
Right? As long as it's not, you know, food and beverage. If you need a spot, if you need a tent for exposure, hit me up.
So we gotta chop this part up right here and make sure we push this out heavy to the community so they know, because when I was trying to get started, everybody was taxing everything. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get a table, we need this here, and then there was no guarantee that you was even gonna get X, Y,
and I understand that, and like people are so fickle about, like, you know, black people. We don't care about the product. We don't care about the product. We care about who has the product.
Yeah.
We don't care about the product.
Yeah.
We care about who has the product. That's like I've seen on different levels. I've seen one person create an event, and a few people show up. Another person creates that same event, basically just copied that event, and it's through the roof.
Through the roof, yeah.
So you didn't care about the product. We only care about who doing it.
Yeah.
So like me as a person, I'm saying I care about your brand, your product, right? And I want you to get the exposure you need.
Yeah. No, definitely. Listen, any entrepreneurs out there, we need y'all to tap in with that, because that's a great opportunity in the community, and you don't see that often. I remember we had the beauty supply store. I opened it up one time, and I was like, well, we did it a few times. So we're gonna do a pop-up shop. You don't gotta pay. You just gotta be within like the first 10 businesses. And we set up businesses inside the beauty supply store, 1st floor, 2nd floor, parking lot, in the salon, wherever we could get people at. It was like everybody come out, and what happened is, if you bring your audience, and you bring your audience, and you bring your audience, and now you got 10 audiences coming to the same spot, and then we'll bring our audience that come shop at the beauty supply store. So now you got 11 audiences all coming together, and now everybody can eat, everybody gets exposure, and now on top of that, you can network with the other people that's there, Now you can see, if you see something, how somebody's moving, you can say, oh, I want to move like that or whatever. But that networking happens, the audiences come together. Now you got a powerful base, and that's why I think that what y'all doing with that's powerful, man. That's something that we need more of, because our community, numbers wise, if we get back to the numbers he was talking about, numbers wise, we're behind on the numbers. And so because we don't pay attention to numbers, we don't understand how powerful that is. But I can say these numbers as we get out of here. The average black business in America makes $30,000 or less. The average black business makes $30,000 or less. And even if you have an equal credit profile to your white counterparts, you're like, I forget the number, it's something crazy. But even if you have an equal credit profile, funding is like 80% less for us off top. So we have to find other ways. We got to make sure we have good framework, good strategy, ideal client. We got to understand. We got clarity on our business to be able to end up profitable at the end of the year. So that's a great opportunity.
But you know, the truth about that is, though, also, I don't think we know. One thing we don't put in, I don't think we know our market, right?
That's a fact.
So here's the problem.
That's a fact.
Here's the problem. Let's say you sell baked potatoes.
Right.
Loaded baked potatoes, right? Everybody buying your loaded baked potatoes. Oh, I know how to do that. I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm doing that. Now I created a competition for consumers with them not knowing they're in competition between me and you.
Right.
Right? So my potatoes may not be as good as yours. They may be better than yours, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I'm taking out of your pocket because I don't have an identity. I don't know who I am. I don't know what my skill set is. So I'm in survival mode.
Right.
Right. Your podcast is Hustle and Humor. A lot of people are in survival mode. So this ain't even a hustle.
Right.
Oh, I see that they're doing that and that's bringing them some money. So I'm gonna do it. So like even with like the things that I do, the things that I create and set up, like I'm inspired by other places and different things. Nothing is 100% original.
Right.
But I look to do things that haven't been done, right? So when I do things that haven't been done and I put my own little thing to it, that's that.
Yeah.
So for me, I got a purpose of why I'm doing it. Now somebody else may come along and just try to replicate that. That's a hustle for them, right?
Right.
So then in the end, for me to keep my sanity, I got to find the humor in it and laugh.
I like that breakdown.
So like that's that little hustle and humor about the stuff, because that also challenges me to become more creative.
Absolutely.
Because my goal is to, like I said, I create experiences. I want to create experiences to the point where people refuse to try to reduplicate what I've done.
Absolutely. You know, I heard the CEO from Apple say you got about a 2-year time period, a head start, before somebody replicates or tries to duplicate exactly what you're doing. So in those 2 years, you got to get so far ahead that when they replicate that, you're like, oh, we're not even on that no more. We on this.
I don't even know. I don't even know if it's. I don't even know if it's 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
I'm telling you.
I seen in Rockford, a sister had a wave with egg rolls, and I seen more egg. So I started seeing all these sisters going back and forth on social media about who did egg rolls first and who had what. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, you know what? What if y'all came together and y'all had one spot?
It's not about us coming together. That's wrong. I'm gonna tell you, that's wrong. We say come together, right?
Right.
But here's the difference in the dynamic. Because if you build a whole egg roll industry, right? And I say, hey, I want to come to you and do egg rolls because I do egg rolls too. We need to split this 50-50.
No, that's
Hold on,
not.
but this is the problem. This is the problem. And I've seen this and I've been a part of this firsthand. I've developed something and I've had people come to me and say, hey, you know, can we partner? Yeah, we can build on it. I did not say, hey, the split's going to be like this. It's going to be a 70-30 because I done already got this rolling and did all the groundwork, right? Why can't we do a 50-50? If we all in it for the same reason.
Nah, because it ain't
Hold
50-50
on, wait
in the
a
work.
minute.
It ain't 50-50 in the work.
Right, but here's the thing. We are the only demographic. The guy that started the Tamale Fest, that was real small. And it blew up, right? Other Hispanics sell tamales. But if another Hispanic popped up talking about, oh, I'm doing the Tamale Fest, their community's going to be like, no, that's what bro doing. We not supporting that.
But I mean, on the flip side,
but our people, this is what we tell. Like I said, if you had that egg roll thing going, like our people, oh, I just want to eat. They good egg rolls. Instead of us telling that person, man, no, dude started that. If you're not gonna work something with him, but that's what destroyed our community.
But it is because so here, how do you reconcile it? Because you have McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King next to each other. They all sell burgers.
Here's
right?
the thing: they all sell burgers, right?
But they all got a unique value proposition.
They all got a unique value proposition at the same time, and I love when our people of color use that example, right? Because McDonald's is McDonald's, Wendy's is Wendy's, Burger King is Burger King, right? So let's flip that nationality, right? Say McDonald's is black, say Wendy's is white, say Burger King is Hispanic. Have you ever seen two McDonald's across the street from each other?
No, sir.
I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That's over with.
But that's my point too. We making the same point. We making the same point.
No, we can't be. We can't be. Because you have to look at them. Those are two different entities.
Yeah, but even if
we're
they
talking
are
culture,
entities,
we're
but
talking
if you're doing
culture.
Egg rolls, right? If I'm doing Buffalo egg rolls and you're doing Southwest egg rolls, those are two different.
Check this out.
Entities. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen the white barbecue spot across the street from a black barbecue spot.
Right. I've seen that.
They both got their business.
I've seen that.
Right? Majority of the black people going to that black barbecue spot, even white people going there. Right? And then white people got their supporters. My point is, you have to look at those entities as different cultures.
So you're saying that
you ain't gonna see McDonald's across the street from McDonald's.
In your example, so you're saying, right? Let me make sure I understand. If the sister has her egg rolls first and she booming, then another sister sees the egg rolls and she like, I want in. But it's not even her passion, it's just the hustle. Like
just the hustle, that's what I'm saying.
That you're saying that the black community, because we talk about our community in general, the black community should support the original sister, which they already supporting, but the sister that comes in, like, you gotta fall back because it's that already that.
No.
That market already exists for this person.
I'm not saying fall back. I'm saying if that person has done right by the sister that already is doing what she's doing, and that person is cool with what their proposition or how they want to do it, then we support.
But you're saying if they come in and G it.
But what we do is,
so they gotta get the blessing?
You should. Because that's culture. That's history. That's ancestral, right? Now, here's the thing. If I sell egg rolls and I'm on the west side, and you say, okay, cool, you pretty much do your egg roll run on Saturday. Cool. I'm doing my egg roll run on Wednesday. Do you have a problem with that? Whatever. Cool, that's fine. If I say we can't work together, cool. If I say go ahead and do whatever you gonna do on this side or over here, fine. What we want to do is we want to put McDonald's across the street from McDonald's.
So you're saying basically we just need structure. It has to be structured in our community.
It.
I see what you're saying.
We don't want no structure.
Yeah.
And then we like, who is that person to go ask?
You mentioned this earlier. You mentioned this earlier too, though. Where in our community? That's why I started off saying you make education look cool. Where in our community, for the most part, do you see structure? Because a lot of what outside of like churches, right? A lot of our community lacks structure already.
I'm gonna tell you why we don't see structure, right? Even in our churches, we lack structure.
My bad, DC saying we short on time, but go ahead. I got you. No, I need to hear that.
Even in our churches, we lack structure, and we lack structure because of fear of losing control.
Okay.
Power,
Teach
right? Because most black people, when they come into a position of power, they've never had power or had somebody in that position of power. And then your life is surrounded by the power and the control that you have. So when somebody up and coming is good and they got the wave of the people, we don't believe in succession.
Nah, you hit. You said
that's why you'll have a pastor. That's why you'll have a pastor, and some people gonna be mad, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Who gonna check me, as they say?
Right.
Some people will have a pastor, and your pastor will be 107 years old.
Right.
Sitting up there in the pulpit with the nebulizer on, Oscar, beeping in the middle of service. He just not gonna let it go.
Preached in 10 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He not gonna let it go. But you have somebody young up and coming, and they're leading everybody, and you see this, And then you want to, again, you don't want to let them know the next 3 people, so you get them a ceiling. So then people break away. So now you broke away with dysfunction, and it wasn't peaceful. But now all these people are following. Right. So, so my point is, we don't have this. The people that give us good structure, we don't want to listen to them. And then as black people, you know what I'm saying, like one of the things I hate to hear black people say is, well, let God handle it. We know. Stop that.
Yeah, stop
you got
that.
the ability to handle.
Excuse.
You got the
Who gonna hold
ability.
you accountable if it's God?
Again, going back to what I said earlier, some people want to go out to celebrate accomplishments.
Some people
want to go out to forget. Right? So now the people that want to go out to forget, even if I went to a white party last week that I know John Brown started 4 years ago, Leroy Jenkins got a white party next Friday in the same place, same time. Same DJ. That this dude have you threw that in there. I see you on that. You on that.
Yeah, I pick up what he put down.
Trying to shoot shots. I get it.
Yeah, I pick up what he putting down.
People are going to go because they're trying to get away from whatever they're getting away from.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And there's nobody in our community that's willing to challenge the person that's doing it. Because if you go back history and ancestral, the things that change people is shame. People don't change because of, whatever it may be. We change because of shame. When we're ashamed about what we're doing, then we change.
Yeah.
So.
Hey man, look, this has been a super dope episode. I gotta bring Tom. Look, I'll be honest with you. We could probably do this for hours. I ain't gonna hold y'all. We could do this for hours because it's just real conversation and it's just real game that I think we need. So one more time, I know you dropped the June 27th piece. One more time, can you drop that and drop all your social medias where everybody can find you on social media? Any and everything you got going on.
Social media is Conscious Coaching, Facebook, Instagram, Conscious Coaching 815. So. Again, that's where you can find me, and I ain't even got a problem. I'm a regular person. If you need to, if you ain't got social media, you don't use social media, you can hit me up 815-517-4241. I ain't scared of people calling me. It don't matter to me.
Facts.
Again, that's 815-517-4241. But we got Urban Intellectuals, and shout out to everybody that's been a part of and still a part of Urban Intellectuals 815. That's nothing that was created on my own. Eric McCall, Kyler Hayes, my guy Jamar, even Doc Hurf, So like that's a family bond, and we always locked in, and again, get you some people that you can count on, depend on, and you gonna stay locked in with. But we got the cigars and sundresses going on for the 6th year. This year we were really trying to expand 815 Cigar Week. On Thursday night, June 25th, we'll be at Sheila's Daiquiri.
Shout out to Sheila's Daiquiri.
We are, it's a sunset solstice. So basically it's a sunset color wave. It's going to be free entry, but we are asking for donations because donations will go to help support Kyra Muhammad with By Any Dreams Necessary and Sighted Foundation. So like they're helping children prepare for college and manage through school. So like we really want to create opportunities to give back for our community and build. So like a lot of times I know we like free stuff, but we got to support and help. Friday we're gonna have a Southern Bike Night at It's a Wing thing. Again, black owned business. We want to really support.
It's a wing thing black owned?
It's a wing thing black owned?
Yes, James is black.
I ain't know that. We might have to pop out there.
Bro,
there you go.
Bring back the brownie, man.
All right. But I'm just saying that we, what I'm saying,
I didn't know that was black owned. That's crazy.
On the 26th.
I was looking for all this whole time. We was looking for vendors and stuff that was trying to find black owned vendors.
Yeah,
That's
on the
crazy.
26th of June, we out there, Southern Bike Night. I want the bikers to come out. Because we got to create different ways for people to enjoy. And then 27th on that Saturday, we'll be again outside State Street on Sheila's Daiquiri, the originator of Couches on the Street. Conscious Coach, that's what we do. We do things different than other people. We're going to have the couches and the cigars out there, creating spaces for all merchandise vendors. It's free. If you have food and beverage, we're going to have to put a little taxation on that because people like to eat, but a lot of times people don't support other businesses that are merchandise. So we don't want to have them pay and then lose out, but we want them to gain exposure and learn. Maybe their business may come along later, but that's what we want to push. And then, you know, Sunday's the big day, Urban Intellectual Cigar and Sundress. Again, we over 400 tickets sold already, June 1st. Ticket price go up, so get it now. Don't wait till the day
June
of.
1st?
June 1st.
June 1st.
Ticket price go up to $50 right now. It's
Oh, no, I
discounted.
thought you were saying that's the event. That's why I
No.
Okay. I was
No,
like,
no.
hold on, wait a second.
Right now, tickets are discounted. June 1st will go up to $50, and the day of it's gonna be $100, and which is crazy. I kid you not.
Folks buy at the
We
door.
get about 25 people that buy at the door. Like, and I really want to say, like, bro, I'm trying to save you money.
It's called that the black tax.
Get
That's
it
what you
now.
Get for CP time.
They said who offered to be there.
They don't believe it till they see it.
If you've been paying attention, like last year we had over 600 people.
Yeah.
Lit.
Like this year, I'm trying to see 800 people this year.
that's the
I
thing
want the
you
fire
can-
marshal to come and say, no, this is too much.
Yeah, that's what's
It's a
up.
problem to have.
That's a great problem to have.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but man, I appreciate y'all.
Man, I appreciate you for stopping by. We definitely got to do a part 2. I didn't get to none of my questions. That's crazy. I got a whole list over here. I was like, hey, this conversation finna go crazy. But I mean, we just got to the intro. So I'm going to have to bring my brother back. I mean, if y'all checking out this episode, let us know what y'all thought in the comments below, man. Leave some comments, leave some feedback. Y'all got something, if it's questions y'all want to know, if it's something you want me and Tony to talk about, man, let me know. We got Hyphen X in the building, Hyphen X Films going crazy. Man, we got a lot of stuff that's about to pop off. So.
We're gonna change his name to Hyphen West. You know what I'm saying? Because for the longest, you know what I'm saying, he reminded me of my great alpha brother Cornell West all the time, man. That's Hyphen West.
Hey, man, out here preaching to the people, man. Listen, this Hustle and Humor podcast, man, is always an honor and privilege, brother, having you here. And we definitely going to bring you back for part 2. And I got to say on cam,
Yeah.
make sure you're in the building June 14th, right? June 14th, we're having an alumni dinner for all the guests who came. I got one of my multimillionaire coaches coming out. We just going to do a whole fun night of just... It's my way of
That's
saying...
a Friday or
That's
Saturday?
a Sunday.
Sunday?
It's a Sunday.
I got you. I'm
it's
here.
my way of saying thank you to all the guests for coming out and let you know I appreciate y'all and for rocking with us, man. And we getting ready for season 2. So season 2 gonna kick off after the alumni dinner. So man, we thank you for coming out, man, and anything we can do to help push business, promotion, anything.
A lot of people been reaching out to me because like last year at the Cigar and Sundress, I wore a summer suit. Styled by Kai, you know. So if you want to try and get you a summer suit, I'm doing something different because I know y'all want to wear suits this year. So reach out to Styled by Kai, man. Get you a summer suit.
How can they find them on social media?
Facebook is Kyler Hayes. I do believe he has his page up for Styled by Kai. You can Google Styled by Kai. I'll take you to his website and information.
Bet, say less. All right, y'all, man. This Hustle and Humor. You see, we doing real things out here, real people, real conversations. Don't forget to what, DC?
Hey man, don't forget to laugh, y'all.
We out of here.
Appreciate you.
Man, definitely.